Hello, how you doing today? Been a tough day? Not doing good? You sick and tired? You feel like you've had enough? Are the bills piling up? Didn't get that promotion at work? You sick and tired of the direction that the country is going? You sick and tired of the corrupt politicians, of the corporations abusing the people, abusing their employees, abusing their staff, of the two-class system we have today, of the rich oligarchs, the 1%, that are looting the 99%? Are you feeling like there's no hope, no chance of you progressing? You're watching everything get more expensive. You're grinding, you're working hard, trying to get ahead, trying to improve yourself. But it seems like the harder you work, the more and more the bills pile up and get more expensive, and it feels like you can't get ahead. Well, today I want to speak to you personally, because I know you're going through this. Even if you're not struggling financially, maybe you're struggling mentally. Maybe you're struggling, like I said, with the way the country is going. You're upset with leadership. You're upset with our leaders not being held accountable by the countless congressional hearings of people so-called getting slammed, but then after these meetings, nothing getting done about it. You're also worried with the direction the country is going. People don't have the same values anymore. They don't have the same beliefs anymore. You're thinking people are losing their humanity. People's morals are decaying. People don't have the same values you do anymore. And this is causing you to feel like giving up, losing hope. But I feel inspired to speak to you today that you're not the only one going through this. I'm going through this as well. I struggle with this every day mentally, seeing the way the world is going today, seeing how corrupt our politicians are, seeing how society is decaying, how people are becoming inhumane. You're walking past the street, nobody smiles at you anymore. Nobody says hello. You've broken down the side of the road. People just keep driving past. You wave to your neighbour, but they just ignore you. You try everything you can to get a promotion at work because everything's getting more expensive. And even though the central bankers and the government are saying inflation is falling, you know it's not. You know things are getting much more expensive. And you see how the wealth gap has gotten to its biggest it's ever been in history. Maybe you're trying to get a house. Maybe you want to get in the housing market, but things are just so expensive and you feel like you'll never get there. Well, people, I want to tell you today that you can get there. There is hope. No matter how corrupt things are, no matter how bad the country gets, you're in control. You are in control. You have the power to make a change. For example, if you're struggling financially, you need to understand that the world has changed. The monetary system has changed. The way things worked before, they don't work anymore. If you're thinking you're going to get ahead financially by going to school, doing good in school, going to university, getting in tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, going to a new job, applying for a new job, trying to get a new job, and grinding at that job, being loyal to the company, giving everything, coming in early, staying late, not taking holidays, not taking sick days, going above and beyond, and you'll get that promotion, and you'll finally achieve middle class or upper middle class. Those days are over. It's not going to happen anymore. And even by the time you do get to middle class or you start earning more, well, inflation is now high, so it's not, you're not going to be much better off. And taxes are going to crush you as well. So there's a new way you need to get ahead. You need to take full ownership. You need to stop relying on a boss. You need to stop relying on a politician to come in there and save the day and bail you out or make things better. There's no one coming to save you. Only you can save yourself. And I've been in this situation myself. And it was only until I took full ownership and responsibility that I was able to break out of the 9-to-5 rat race and now do what I love, speaking to you personally. But it's a lot of hard work. It's not easy. It's very risky. But you need to start doing something now on the side of your job and create your own business. That is the only way, people, you are going to get ahead. You are never going to get ahead being an employee. You need to figure out what's your passion. And the great thing about the internet is you have the ability now to turn whatever is your passion into a full-time job and to replace your income and achieve financial independence and freedom. So I'm calling you now. Take full ownership. Take a leap of faith. Take that chance. Because you may say, look, it's a lot of hard work. Working 9-to-5 every single day, not getting holidays, not getting rewarded for your hard work. That's hard as well. I've been there, done that. You may say it's risky. Well, inflation is going to absolutely crush everybody that's an employee right now. Yes, wages are going up, but they're not keeping up with inflation. Where if you work for yourself, you're in control. If prices are going up, you can increase your prices to offset inflation. And if you don't take this risk, you're going to be doomed to work 40 years in a job you hate, and you're probably never going to be able to retire. Maybe if you're watching this, you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s. By the time you retire, there may not be a social security. There may not be a pension. And even if there is, the cost of living is going to be so high, it's not going to cover it. So it is actually more risky not to take this chance, not to try, than to take what's called the safe route, which really is just, avoiding the short-term pain of taking a risk and starting a business to, not have that, not take that risk, but then you take the biggest risk of all of wasting your life away working for a mega corporation that does not care about you whatsoever. So everyone, you need to take this chance now. This video is coming to you right now because you've been contemplating taking this risk. You want to do something, but you're not sure how, or you've been procrastinating. This is your calling now. Take the chance now, because you're never going to get ahead financially if you don't take this chance. Again, just a tip, what I did. Not everyone's going to be able to do this. Not everyone will want to do this. Whatever your passion is, go ahead and make a YouTube channel. Talk about it. Share your passion with the world. Talk about things you're passionate about. I'm passionate about talking about finance and geopolitics. And you'll be surprised when you do something you love, how actually easy it is. Even if you don't make money at the start, you'll still be doing something you enjoy. So that's the first thing you need to do. You need to take that risk. Now that's the financial side of things. But I also want to talk about what's happening in the world right now. I finally gotten into a situation where I don't have to work a 9 to 5, but I'm still struggling mightily with watching all the corruption that's happening in the world right now, how corrupt our politicians are, and how obvious the corruption is. They're lying. They know, we know they're lying, but they're still lying, as the saying goes. And I'm sick and tired, and I know you're sick and tired, and this is why I'm speaking to you personally, of seeing these congressional hearings, of seeing people like, Pfizer CEOs pulled up in the Senate and getting grilled by these politicians. But then after that, nothing gets done. Nobody's being held accountable. There's no consequences for their actions. Meanwhile, if you or me do what they do, we'll be thrown in prison with no mercy, no remorse. But I just want you to know there isn't any politician that's going to save you. Again, you need to know you're in control, and you can make a difference by making a difference in your community. Instead of complaining about the problem, be the solution. Instead of complaining how the world has changed, be the change that you want the world to make. Go out there in your community and help. Speak to your local politicians and tell them that the changes they're doing you're not happy with. And smile at someone when they walk past you, or wave at your neighbour. Go speak to your neighbour. Say hello. Because I feel like society, we're sick right now. We've fallen to worship technology, to worship social media, and these platforms are engineered to make you addicted. We're slaves to it right now. You're a slave to it right now. And people are losing their humanity. And if AI comes around, which is definitely going to, it's going to take a lot of people's jobs. It's going to make the situation even worse. People are going to become even less human, become a slave to artificial intelligence and to technology. And lastly, I want to speak on the human spirit. I know your spirit is weak right now. They've crushed your human spirit, whether it be financially, the way the world is with the morals of politics. The human spirit in the West right now has been crushed because of people's morals that are decaying, and also because people have turned away from God. People have turned away from spirituality. And when you do that, you have to fill that with something else. And that's where we've seen people fill it with, wokeism, with a woke agenda where, it seems like people think they're gods now. They can say what is right, what's wrong. They can change reality by saying, a boy's this or a girl's this, or, there's no such thing as this and that, and redefine nature. And we all know that's not true. People have lost their way. And again, they've had to fill that with something else, the wokeism or consumerism. We're seeing people, constantly buying things to impress people on social media or to impress their neighbours, but it's not working. And I feel like, we've fallen as a people. We've fallen away from God, and that's why society is so bad today. Because even if you don't believe in God, just think of it. How was society, say for example the 50s, 60s, 70s, when most people believed in God, compared to today? The reason why the world is so sick today is because they've lost that spiritual side of them. They've lost that human spirit, that connection with a higher being. And for example, in the 60s and 70s, if you believed in God and you went to steal, not only did you have to worry about getting caught by police, but even if you didn't get caught, you'll know you've done something very wrong, and God knows you've done something very wrong. So then that might stop you from committing that crime. But today, when people can get away with committing theft. Seems like they can just walk into a store, steal something, there's no consequences, and they don't believe in God. Well, there's nothing stopping them from committing crime, and I feel like this is leading to worse crimes. But right now, God is calling out to his people again. I know you can see this, there's a shift happening. I can see it, there's a shift happening. I can feel like God is calling out to his people. He's calling out like a father calls out to his lost child. He's looking down weeping to see how far we have fallen, to see how evil and corrupt this world has become. And the reason why you're struggling is because you have no hope. But if you have God, you have hope. Even if everyone abandons you, you still know you have a God that loves you and is looking out for you. And it can give you that peace and strength to keep going when it feels like you don't have the strength to keep going. And I feel like I've called to share this video with you today and share this message with you because God is calling his people again. Times are going to get very tough. And Babylon has fallen. You know, the US, Australia, a lot of the woke West has fallen. They say pride comes before the fall. And how far have we fallen? How prideful have we become to think we're gods, we know what's right, we think we can change nature, and everything's becoming unnatural. But times are going to get very tough, people. And whether you're religious or not, when the times get really tough, you're going to be praying. But the reason why this video has come to you today is because God is calling you back. And he's there for you, he cares for you, he loves you, and he'll take those burdens away and make them light. So I hope this chat with you today has made you feel a bit better, made you feel a bit more at peace, and to know it's time to take action, take control of your life. You are in control. And if you have God, nothing is impossible. And no enemy that rises against you will prosper. There is hope, everyone. You will get through these tough times, and God loves you. I'll see you soon.